Michael Knowles. I've not covered him in a while, have I? He's kind of fallen off like the rest of the Daily Wire. Like, that whole empire is falling. We're watching it crumble before our very eyes, and I couldn't be happier. Michael Knowles is probably the least talented, cringiest, and gayest member of the Daily Wire. And no, I'm not saying gay as an insult there. I literally mean it. Maybe I'll add it in post in the edit, but I don't feel like wasting time bringing it up now. Back in the day, Michael Knowles did a student film where he filmed an relatively explicit gay sex scene for said student film. Not saying that means he's gay. I'm saying it's hilarious that he makes a career off of shit-talking gay people and trans people and other members of the LGBT community, and yet he himself does in fact have a photo online of him in bed, naked, with another man, like huffing and puffing like they just got done going to town on each other. There are no photos of like that of most progressive figures, so yeah, I'm just saying. Michael Knowles has very little ground to stand on, okay? Very little ground. But he's still out there, pumping out the content. He's still pumping out the propaganda to a modest remaining audience for the Daily Wire. And he just put out a new video an hour ago I thought we'd respond to, assuming it's any good, called The Right Wing Splits Over Trump's H-1B Legal Immigration Plan. And this is true, actually. There is a big split in the right currently because Trump has realized cutting off all H-1B visa immigration would cause an immense brain drain for the American economy, and that is not something it can take right now. So even Trump has had to admit that he went too far. He hasn't admitted it. It's more so that he's walked it back without acknowledging it's a walk back. And now he's calling H-1B visa immigrants important. He's 180'd on it, and his supporters have noticed. And there's been several big splits of the right recently. Like, it is a full-on civil war. Another split is happening now. I'm telling you, folks, the right is failing. They are falling. The age of the woke is beginning. Woke is back. Let's get into it. But before we do, leave a like and a comment down below if you want to support the video. Comment down below, Knowles is cringe. You know, it helps to boost in the algorithm. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more from me. I appreciate it. Leave a hype on the video too. And let's get right into it. So, Michael Knowles, the right wing, splits over Trump's H-1B legal immigration plan.
After winning an election driven largely by discontent over mass migration, the Trump administration is coming out in full force to defend H-1B visas and...
Okay, well, I'm already going to correct something here. The number one wedge issue in the election was not immigration, it was the economy.
And more legal migration. The right is up in arms, understandably so, but everyone is missing a crucial little secret that shows us what is really going on, and I will give you that secret. I'm Michael Knowles, this is The Michael Knowles Show.
Thank you, J.R. Token Flower. Westside Tyler made a really good video essay on Kirk. Ah, interesting. Neat, thank you. What? 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 Never mind. Actually, comment down below Michael Knowles is gay. Not Michael Knowles is cringe. Comment Michael Knowles is gay, because bro is owning it now, and I respect it. He's not actually, though. If Michael Knowles was gay, he would have actually, like, made that work. Like, he would have actually committed to that, and it would have worked. Is this AI? I wish.
Welcome back to the show. Michelle Obama has just given a lecture on how her black beauty is so powerful that you need to be educated about it. So we're going to get that education. We're going to learn. Okay. We're going to sit when Michelle Obama speaks, we're going to sit ourselves down and listen, okay? First, though, I want to tell you about Policy Genius.
No, we're not doing the grift sponsor segment, of which I'm sure there's going to be like 5 sponsors in this video.
Is not happy about some comments that President Trump just made. I'll give them to you in his own words. These are comments made to Laura Ingraham.
Republicans have to talk about it.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people.
Ironically, Trump is completely right here. Like, he's fully walked back his position that, like, we don't need any outside of America talent to keep our economy going. He's realized he was wrong. He has now invisibly backpedaled that position and has the complete opposite position that we do, in fact, need to avoid brain drain by bringing in valuable skilled laborers through the H-1B visa program. And this is a complete flip. And to own that take, Trump has to admit that we do not have enough brilliant, bright people here in America. Literally one-to-one the exact opposite take that Trump got elected on. No wonder his supporters are so pissed.
People off an unemployment, like an unemployment line, and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles.
Okay, people really don't like this for two reasons. One, because just the way the soundbite falls, it sounds like President Trump is saying that Americans aren't talented. Now, I think the guy has enough grace on the issue over the last 10 years to know.
I mean, he's the one who's trained his supporters to reduce everything he says down to its most fundamental interpretation, and that's the only thing you can pull from it.
That he thinks Americans are very talented, and he hugs the American flag, and he's got more popular appeal than any president, probably in my lifetime, certainly in, I don't know, 20, 25 years.
No, his approval ratings are plummeting. In fact, you know something that the left often doesn't really appreciate? The right loves Trump because Trump is always saying what they like, and he's always attacking who they hate. And the way that Trump carries himself, if you disagree with him, it is impossible not to hate him. The way that he just is, so smug and like self-assured while also acting self-righteous despite being the opposite of righteous. It is impossible not to hate Trump if he is not on your side. So when Trump 180s on a position you elected him for, and he starts being Trump about that issue that you disagree with him on, even though you're a conservative, you got to imagine a very similar feeling that we get, our revulsion we feel when Trump is saying a take that we don't like, not just because it's a bad take, but because Trump is the way that he is. For the first time, a lot of conservatives are starting to feel the same vibe we've had about Trump for a long time, where it's not that he's just saying the wrong things, it's that the way he acts and speaks and carries himself has always been a red flag. It's always been obnoxious, annoying, and cringe, and now a lot of conservatives are having to basically tussle with that fact, because now they don't agree with him. Now he's not attacking the group they dislike.
Clarifies what he means. He says, you don't have talent in certain areas, or you don't have enough talent in certain areas. And he goes on in the interview to explain which. So that's one reason people are miffed. I get it. They're really irritated, though, on the issue itself, because I think a lot of people want to reduce all migration. The movement of people into the United States over the last 70 years is the largest movement of people in recorded history. So a lot of people are saying, no, hold
I don't think that's true, but I don't think it's relevant, so I'll let that slide.
on. Wait, we didn't vote to get more migrants coming into this country. Why are you doubling down on the H-1B visa issue? So was this just a gaffe? Was this just the president kind of speaking off the top of his head, maybe not totally getting the policy exactly right?
How is he going to twist this? Like, actually, though, how is he going to twist this? Because the Daily Wire is absolutely on the pro-Trump side of the MAGA civil war, the right-wing civil war. So how are they going to defend the H-1B visa immigration program and defend Trump without pissing off their audience? This is a real lose-lose situation for them. They either have to criticize Trump, instantly piss off half their audience, or defend Trump, instantly piss off half their audience. This is an impossible situation for someone like Michael Knowles to win.
Secretary of DHS, Kristi Noem, goes on Fox News and doubles down.
What is the administration's position on these visas?
Now, we're going to keep using our visa programs. We're just going to make sure that they have integrity, that we're actually doing the vetting of the individuals who come into this country, that they want to be here for the right reasons, that they're not supporters of terrorists and organizations that hate America.
Like, can we please just not pretend it's sexist to point out the elephant in the room that all of these prominent conservative women have a above average amount of plastic surgery going on? Like, you get used to it and you stop noticing after a while because they all look like this, but look how much lip filler she's using. You notice how she has absolutely no face shape because she's had so much work done everywhere on her fucking face? Like, these... I know it's Kristi Noem, but oh my god. And it's not just her, it's so many of them have had so much work done. Like, it's over-the-top amounts of work done. And it shows you that in their mind, and in the world of conservatism, a woman is only as valuable as men find her pleasant to look at. It's that simple.
And that's what I think is so remarkable is under the Trump administration, we've sped up our process and added integrity to the visa programs, to green cards, to all of that. But also more people are becoming naturalized under this administration than ever before. More people are becoming citizens because we're not just streamlining and building some processes back into our immigration policies. We're also making sure that these individuals that are coming into our country and get that privilege, that they actually are here for the right reasons.
What's so funny about all this is that in 2016, the whole talking point was, we love immigration. We just want legal immigration. We don't want criminals coming in. But the idea of criminals being the fear-mongering point to keep people from wanting to vote Democrat, like, criminals stopped hitting as hard. You know, like, oh, they're dangerous. They're dangerous. Because people weren't buying it like they used to. So they switched it to, they're hurting the economy. And very quickly, they embraced the idea that any immigration hurts the economy. So owning points like, we're naturalizing more people than ever, it's like, dog, that is not a good look anymore. Maybe in 2016, people would have bought that and been like, oh, cool, awesome. That is the opposite of what you want your supporters hearing on Fox News right now. That is a losing point. MAGA voted for no immigration, fully closed borders.
The Biden administration let thousands of terrorists into this country. They opened the southern border. They abused our asylum programs, abused our protective programs and visa programs, and we fixed all of it. It's remarkable what President Trump has done, and it's because he's a great leader. He's a visionary, and this man is going to go down as a legend in history as our greatest president ever.
God, the glazing is so apparent. Oh, my God.
Okay, so no ambiguity about this at all. She says there at the end, we are naturalizing more people than have ever been naturalized before. We're bringing in more legal immigrants than have ever been brought in before.
He caught it. He caught it.
And in the first part, she says, look, we're going to keep using our visa program. I think most people would agree with that. Says we just need it to have integrity. But there are two ways that a visa program cannot have integrity. The one way is what she's talking about, which is when you let in a bunch of people who hate your country, who are terrorists, who are dangerous. Obviously, you don't want...
Okay, we're going to find out if Michael Knowles has a single honest bone in his body, based on whether or not he's willing to bring up one completely indisputable fact. The vast majority of illegal immigrants in America to this day did not immigrate here illegally. They did not enter the country illegally. They entered legally and stayed illegally. The vast majority of people came here on a visa and just didn't leave once the visa expired. Illegal border crossings have been unbelievably rare in the world of illegal immigration since the 2000s.
Those guys in. But the other way that a visa program can lack integrity is if it's not being used for what it's supposed to be used for. The purpose of these various visa programs is to bring people into the United States who have skills that are hard to find in the United States. You can't find an American to do the job, so you got to go bring someone in from elsewhere. Or who have some quality that would benefit our country that we don't presently have. And
I mean, the jobs that we want the H-1B visa program for are those jobs, of course, but there are a lot of industries that we are trying, well, not anymore. Biden was trying to get ahead on, particularly above China, and was using the H-1B visa program to brain drain other countries into America so that the best and brightest of other countries would help us lead over China in, for example, the microchip sector. That's a whole massive industry America was going to lead in over China. Now we've lost said lead because Trump undid all of Biden's hard work with bringing in specialized workers to get us ahead in that industry. It's not a matter of like, oh, we're taking over these jobs. No, for us to get ahead in that industry, we need to have these big brain people from other countries. We have to yoink talent from other countries. And then when we own that industry, that opens up positions all the way down the totem pole for American native-born workers to take. But we got to have that industry by the balls first as a country. If China beats us in it, we're just going to start buying Chinese microchips and there won't be an American microchip industry.
she doesn't really address that part. She doesn't address whether or not there are Americans who can fill these jobs. She's just saying, look, we're going to make sure they're not terrorists and we're going to naturalize more people than ever. So I think for a lot of people like me who think that we just simply have too much migration, who want to drastically reduce all...
Okay, this is interesting. He's trying to take a bit more of a moderate approach, but he's definitely taking the critical of Trump position. Dude, if even the Daily Wire is having to, like, bite the bullet and criticize Trump, you know it's bad. You know things are bad. Guys, can you imagine 6 months ago any of these conservative pundits criticizing how Trump is running the country? Things are changing, and they're changing relatively fast. 11 months. 11 months is all it took.
Migration, who don't have anything against the migrants in particular. I'm sure some of them are very nice people, but we just have too many. Sometimes in American history, you need more migration. Sometimes you need a lot less. We're in one of the a lot less periods right now. For people like me, you listen to this and you say, oh, yikes, this is bad. This is not what I voted for. Now, there are plenty of people for whom this is exactly what they voted for. There are a lot of people who say, look, I want to stop illegal immigration, but I want more legal immigration. There are a lot of people. That's kind of like the boomer conservative point of view. That was the dogma in the Republican Party for a long time. But
I mean, that was Trump's position and MAGA's public position up until 2020. I guess really up until 2024. Like even in 2020, Trump was less radical than he is now.
Especially younger conservatives, more right-wing conservatives, we say, nah, it's just we have too much migration. We need to reduce it. We're losing social solidarity. There's strains on the welfare system. Crime is going up. I have to press 3 for English. I don't want it. I don't want it. So, are we all...
In what universe do you have to press 3 for English, dog? I literally was calling my power went out the other day, so I had to call the local utilities in order to find out like when they would be bringing it back on. Because like the whole neighborhood got knocked out. It was like an animal fucked up some infrastructure. I called them, and it's all an automated system. English is always press 1, as it was in that situation. What are you talking about? Press 3 for English, making shit up ass motherfucker.
All doomers here? No. The doomerism is not justified because of one dirty little secret, one actually beautiful little secret. Here it is. This is from the White House website, but it's backed up by reporting even from liberal journalists who are very upset about this fact. We are on track to have net negative migration into the United States this year.
Okay.
Net negative migration for the first...
So he's criticizing the H-1B thing, but he's like, but still, guys, we're still going to have net negative migration into America. That's not how people's brains work in politics, man. Michael, people aren't going to buy that. Hell, people aren't even going to buy the idea that you are against this immigration now. Like, you are failing to defend Trump thoroughly here. You're actually just pissing off both sides by taking this position.
Time in half a century. So that's the dirty little secret. And it doesn't mean that the president is lying, certainly. Doesn't mean that Kristi Noem is lying. They might be bringing in more legal immigrants than ever before. They might be naturalizing more people than ever before. But they're
naturalizing people is not bringing in illegal immigrants, man.
Deporting so many people are self-deporting, that you're seeing net negative migration for the first time in half a century. This is, and who knows, we're still in November. There's still, a month or two to figure out if we actually hit that number. But that would be the greatest achievement for immigration restrictionists since the 1960s.
You know, we love hearing that groups that have not been relevant since the 1960s are seeing rises again. You know what other groups were very prominent in the 1960s that haven't been prominent until recently?
That is a major, major win. And I wondered, I was talking to friends about this during the campaign. When President Trump, even in 2024, was doubling down on illegal immigration bad, legal immigration good, I thought, why is he saying that? I think people are just fed up with all the mass migration. A friend of mine pointed out that might just be the most politically salient way to do it. There are going to be a lot of people who, when you say you want fewer migrants generally, they're just going to conclude you're a racist, you're a thisist, you're a thatist, and you're going to turn off those more independent, centrist voters. So that's okay. Maybe tactically that makes sense. There are other reasons too. Maybe it's because some of the donors, many of the donors to both parties, want more migration because they think that it will benefit their companies. Maybe they have some patriotic feeling. They think it'll benefit the economy generally. But in any case, President Trump is trying to maintain a coalition, balance a lot of different powers that have interests in the government of the United States. If the net effect of that is that we have net negative migration for the first time in 50 years, and the administration goes on TV and says, we love legal immigrants, and that's it. That's what it comes. But the net effect is we are net negative migration. Sign me up, man. I love that.
That's just not what people are going to buy. People leaving the country enough that it makes up for Trump bringing in more people is not going to please the people who voted for Trump. I'd say the majority of people who voted for Trump to completely end immigration. Because to the average Trump supporter, they're still going to see people coming in and taking jobs. Trump dug his own grave here.
Supposed to be wise as serpents, and innocent as doves. I think it works out well. And speaking of some of those donors, speaking of some of those industries, is a little bit of a terrifying headline out of the Wall Street Journal. It's just a couple days ago. The AI boom is looking more and more fragile. AI stocks have swung downward as doubt rises about sustainability and payoff. So a lot of the arguments for H-1Bs and bringing in these immigrants with highly specialized technical skills is to serve the defense industry, sure, but also to serve Silicon Valley. And you might not...
Okay, come on, to serve Silicon Valley. Now, I'm as critical of big tech as anyone, more than most people, in fact. But let's not pretend that serving Silicon Valley. What do you mean? Silicon Valley is part of the American economy, a massive, immensely profitable, and unfortunately a huge bubble that's highly inflated and going to pop eventually, part of the American economy. But until that bubble pops, it is beneficial for big tech and Silicon Valley to be doing as well as possible. As much as that kills me inside to admit, they are still a significant sector of the U.S. economy. So you mean serving the U.S. economy, Michael Knowles? Is that what you mean?
I like Silicon Valley. Some people in Silicon Valley have been pretty good recently, and they moved a little bit to the right. And frankly, it's a Silicon Valley guy, Elon Musk.
I like how it nothing to do with what Silicon Valley is actually up to, in terms of like how they operate as a corporate, a community of corporations. Instead, it's do the CEOs make right-wing memes on Twitter or not?
Who is probably responsible for the Trump victory because he bought X and freed up a medium for conservatives to have a say. In any case, it is simply an economic fact. Silicon Valley is propping up our whole economy right now. The stocks that are propping up the market are the Mag 7.
You know what? Hey, he just confirmed everything I just said right. Okay.
These big tech stocks, AI in particular, people are pouring money into AI. So if Silicon Valley fails, the economy is going into the gutter.
Okay.
That is going to destroy...
All right, you know what? We agree. All right, cool.
Republicans in the midterms, that very well could destroy J.D. Vance in 2028, or whoever the Republican nominee is. Probably it's going to be J.D. Vance.
Don't worry. You'll be defending Trump running for a third term very soon. You know it'll be him.
I know. We love to focus on the...
I mean, unless he dies. He might die before he gets... To be fair, there's a good chance he dies before he even gets to, like, year 3.
Republican civil war. There's a Republican civil war over neoconservatism and post-liberalism and Israel and social issues and this and that.
You're part of it right now, man. You're part of it. Your boss is currently fighting with Brett Cooper, Candace Owens, and the whole rest of the right now, and Nick Fuentes.
Sure, there is. I gave a speech on this last night, actually. If you want...
And believe me, the fact you work for the most prominent Jewish man in conservative politics means you are on one of these sides, whether you want to be or not, Michael Knowles. That Daily Wire affiliation of yours means you're on a side in this MAGA civil war, whether you want to be or not.
My complete, unvarnished take on the so-called Republican right-wing civil war. I gave that speech at Belmont Abbey. We'll try to get it up on the YouTube channel and Daily Wire and elsewhere. You get it there. Let me tell you something. Silicon Valley failing would be much more calamitous for the Republican Party and the conservative movement than any kind of civil wars or tweets or live streams or whatever. And so I get it. Trump is trying to balance all of these things. I'm pretty good with this effect. If we get some more tech workers, we get some whatever, net migration goes down, we keep up that trend, we fix the horrific migration problem, we keep the stock market ticking along as best we can, we keep the economy going. That's not bad. It seems actually...
The comments weren't happy about this. I read some of the comments before this. This explains why the comments were very unhappy.
Pretty smart. Now, speaking of intelligence, John Fetterman, the one, I guess, quasi-blue dog, moderate Democrat in the Senate, he just went on CNN and dropped some facts about the nastiness of the two political parties, about where the vitriol and the hatred in this country is really coming from. We'll get to that in one second. First, I want to tell you about NeuroGum.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you about the sponsorships, man? God, the grift is just so blatant. It's so blatant. Like, they don't even try to hide that they're just doing it for money at this point. It's so pathetic. It's so fucking pathetic. Like, never in a million years would any of these Daily Wire hosts continue doing what they do while going through a financial struggle. They would never push through that because they're passionate about what they're doing and saying if, like, the money dried up for a spell. Like, one spell of, like, shit being really rough for these people, and they're gonna give up, because this is just a cash cow for them. Multiple... Dude, I think that video had 4 sponsored segments, because they had chapters. I'm pretty sure every single topic he covered had a sponsor in between. That is unbelievably shameless. That is so shameless. Like, that is very openly admitting, like, you are trying to squeeze every last penny you can out of everything you put out. It's not like, oh, nice, passive income stream, doing what I love. It is a cash cow for the Daily Wire folks. Their hearts are not in the game anymore, especially not the likes of Michael Knowles. Certainly not. Anyway, if you ended up enjoying this response, leave a like and a comment down below. Comment Michael Knowles is gay! If you want to let me know you watched this far into the video and you want to help boost it in the algorithm, compete against the right-wing slop out there. It really does help, and I appreciate it. And of course, if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe. You can always support the stream and the channel financially if you want to. But I hope to see you again soon, with all that said.